Hi everybody, Steven here. So today I just wanted to show you how we could create floor plans, elevations using our models. I think it'd be good to do that before we go any further into the modeling. So that's what we had. If you press, I think it's F2, you will go into a floor plan view. And right now we are on the ground floor. As you can see, there's stuff that we don't want to show, like the mesh, the elevations, sections, all those things that we don't need. So let's just try to zoom out to see all the things that are actually showing right now. We get the photos from before that we use for reference. So what we're gonna do is to create a layer combination. So we're gonna just show what we want. So if you press Ctrl L, this is the layer setting menu. See on the layer combination on the left side, all the layers on the right side. So what we're gonna do is create new layers for any of the new elements that we created. And then we're just gonna turn them on and off, and then gonna save that as a combination that we can use later on to create the floor plans. So first, what you want is to have that little palette. If it doesn't show, it's under palette is the quick layers. So what this allows you to do is to just select an element, and here it shows that it's in the import side aerial layer, and we want to turn that off. So all the selected element that are in that layer will be turned off. And now we want to maybe hide the mesh, so that's the layer, turn that off. We don't want the elevations, we don't want the sections. So actually, if you know that those two elements you want to hide, even though they're in different layers, if you select both of them by pressing Shift to add to the selection, so now we got dock elevation and the section, and you click hide, both of them were hidden as well. Now we got this one. I think earlier I did create another layer for that because it was set up to a floor slab. So what I did is I'll just redo one. Ctrl L, create a new layer, and we're just gonna call it des. And calculate let's say paths. Press OK, and OK. So we're gonna take that and then put it into this path. So now if I click this and I hide it, this path layer will be turned off. So to check that, we can go back into the layers, Ctrl L, and you can see this is turned off. But like I said, in the previously I did create a new layer. So maybe let's say you want to bring it back. You can bring back the last action that you've done. So undo quick layer action. So this will pop back up, and as you can see, this is in path. Let's say you wanted to put it back into the original one, landscape path. You can just select this, go through here, and just put it back. So now this has been switched to that layer, and if you wanted to, you can go back into the menu and maybe delete that and delete elements. Usually I would try to move into ARCHICAD layer, because sometimes you don't know if there's something in that layer that's maybe hidden somewhere, so you don't want to actually delete it. So just move it back here. Okay. Because I mean, as you can see here, there's a lot of layers, and I haven't added that much, but in some more complex files you might have heaps of them, so it's better to keep the layer that you don't use, maybe delete it, or make sure that you name them correctly so it's easier for you to find them after. Okay, so we're just gonna hide this, and I think I also put the staircase into their separate layers so I can hide them. So I'm just gonna hide this, hide those. So be careful, don't click anywhere else until you finish your view, because what we need to do now is to save the layer combination, because right now, as you can see, if you go back into menu, there's some on and off, and you want to save that as a combination. So you're gonna do new, and we're gonna do just type it floor plan. But as you can see, in the ARCHICAD original template, they have some combination already, but because if you click on it, you'll see the on and off is different. Let's say press OK. You see there's other stuff that's going to be showing and not showing. So you have to make sure that we go back to R1. So now it's going back to this. And one more thing that we need to do maybe is we need to rotate this, because usually I like to keep my floor plan straight. So how you can do this to set the orientation graphically, like here at the bottom, and pick a corner, go along the line and just drag it, and just make sure that it's 45 degrees or horizontal. And so we get this. And one last thing that I like to do, to keep the plan clean, I like to do it black and white. As you can see here, the original colors varies. So one quick way of doing it is to go here. Normally in the template they should have something called simplify plan, and voila, all the walls are black, the text is black as well, and it's just more cleaner. Because how I used to do it before this came out in ARCHICAD was to go into the settings, like select the object, press Ctrl T to go into the settings, and you had to change the value here. Everything needs to be black, or even here you would have to go to the building material, which is actually under element attribute, building materials, timber wall. You would have to change that to black. So, but you preferably don't want to change the original settings. I think there was oops. So that's why it's better to use the graphic overrides. So simplify plans. And if you want to dive into more about the graphic overrides, they're under document, graphic override combination, and it's here. You can play with that. It's kind of similar to the layer combination, where you have the combination here, and here you input the rules. If you click on this, you can see all the settings, but I'm not going to talk about this in this video, because I mean it takes quite a while to go through all the options. But you can just use the ready-made one by ARCHICAD, simplified floor plans, and voila. So now we need to be able to save that into a view, into view map here. So I'm just going to open the organizer, and in this side I'm going to have the what is it called, project map, and here it's going to be the view map. As you can see, there's already some views that was made by in the template. We're just going to create our own old folder. Let's say floor plans, and I'm just going to drag it to the top. So now it's easy. You just click on the ground floor where you were, and you're going to save the view. Okay, so now we can close that. If you go here now, it's in here. Oops, it's in here. For some reason the angle hasn't been saved, so what we need to do is to just go back to here. I think it was 45 degrees, and go back to the view map, right click, view settings, and try to unclick and reselect, because sometimes it doesn't update. And get current setting windows, press OK. So now let's see, if I go to this view and go back here, okay, for some reason it still doesn't work. Get current window settings, current zoom, press OK. Oh, no, it's good. I guess you have to untick this, so wait, I just want to make sure that it's right. Control L, show everything. So on this one it's on an angle set to 0, but on this one you go back, it's set to 45. So yep, so we just had to unclick that. Okay, let's check again. All good. So now we have a view. So the floor plan. So now maybe we're gonna try to show some elevation. So I'm just gonna go Control L for now. Elevation. So those were the ones that were created originally by ARCHICAD. So instead of recreating new ones, we can just use those ones. And oops. So you could either just select one by one, or you can select the elevation tool here, press Ctrl A, and we select all the elevations. And it's similar to walls, like you select the element here, press Ctrl A, it will select all the walls. Quick little shortcut. So let's do that again. And now I'm just going to rotate this so they're parallel to the side of the house, and just going to move them into place. Here. And now you can just stretch them so they cover the whole house, and you can use the other point as a reference to get to the same distance. You just press shift to stay on that axis, and just drag the point here. Same here. Okay. If you wanted to create another elevation tool, you just click here, and you just click on here, starting point, press shift to maintain a straight line and stick to the axis, press the second one, and now you can see the orientation, that little triangle arrow here. So like you prefer it to face the house. And on some cases you have that little line extra. If you go into the setting by pressing Ctrl T, you can see there's different range. Either it's infinite or limited. So it means that the elevation view will only show up to that staircase there. If you want, you can just push it back to go intersect the house, or you go further. Usually you do that if you want to hide stuff that are in the distance. But for now you can just keep it infinite. I'm just going to delete that. And if you go back to the project map, you would see those are the elevation that was created, and this one is 1, this one's 2, so that's the east, north, east, south, west. Okay, so now you can select one of the elevation, open with current settings, and that's what you would see. And if you go to F5, it will show you the 3D model with all the layers in that combination. I mean, right now it doesn't really matter because you need to create a view of that elevation. So let's select all those elevation. I'm gonna open the organizer, and so they was already created, but what we're gonna do is just gonna delete those ones. Select the elevations here, so I'm just pressing the first one, then press shift so I can select all of them, and I'm gonna select the elevation folder and save view. So now everything's gonna be transferred there, and if I go to the view map, that's what I'll see. But then I would like to see the mesh. So what you could do is you just press Ctrl L, go into go to view settings. They're on custom right now. Go to site mesh existing, turn that on. So that's what you see underneath. You see the line, it's because of the way the structure is shown. If you want to see the solid mesh, you need to select this one. Okay, so you would see this. Maybe I want it black and white. Same. So now I'm just gonna view settings, get current view windows, so it will save that custom layer combination. And let's go to the other ones. So what you can do now is to just go here, elevations. No, it's not elevation settings, it's view settings. Just want to try something. View settings, get current view. Okay. Oh, cool! I did that. So because I was on that window and I selected the other one, view settings, and get current view window settings, it applied to all the other layers selected. Quick little shortcut. But of course, if you want to be a bit cleaner in the way you work, you would rename that layer combination. So right now it's on custom, so what you could do is to just Ctrl L. This is the layer combination, the custom one, and just gonna press new, and we're gonna create elevation. Press OK. Okay, so now you can just select all of them, view settings, and change that to elevation. This one with a S. Okay, good. So now I got all the sides. I think this is the boundary wall. So what you could do now is to maybe go back into the floor plan and maybe bring this a bit closer, maybe where there's a staircase, or if you wanted to here, and this is going to be closer as well. And let's go back. So you can see the stairs. See the self elevation. Okay, you know, earlier I told you about the different range. As you can see here, it's showing the mesh like way in the background, but I think I'd like to stop it so it only shows the building. So if you go back to the floor plan, so that's this view here, we're gonna change the range and maybe bring it around here. So now if you go back to the south elevation, as you can see, it stopped. Maybe I do want it to show, but maybe around that level so you can see the streets. So I think I need to go a bit further, maybe around here, so I can see a bit of that wall there. But then you don't see it all the way to the back. And I think we'd like to do the same for each elevation, I guess. So this one is going to change the range, bring it all the way to here, to here, and this one as well. As you can see, it can be a bit confusing. Oops, actually dragged. So it was actually here. Just have to move stuff a little bit if it's overlapping a wall or something. Okay, let's go west. So now it's gone. It's just cleaner, so you can only see the building. Okay, so those are the elevations, and then I'm gonna quickly show you the sections. So previously we did hide the section. Excuse me. Section. Okay, we get multiple ones. Just gonna delete them. Delete anyway. So this is a section tool. So similar as the elevation, you just click the starting point, where you want it to end, the orientation. So maybe I'm just gonna look this way, and let's see, open that. It's already black and white because it actually was using the kind of settings from the previous view. And design wall. I think I might just have to create a new layer because I don't want to see that wall. That wall is like the boundary wall. So design walls, and I'm just gonna get boundary, and I'm gonna hide that. Select that wall here and put in the wall boundary. So now it's gone. I think I'd like to see the site mesh. Press OK. As you can see, there's a dip here. I guess that's the mesh that I need to edit again. And so that's the section. So for now, I'm just gonna save that as a view before I go any further. And here we get a section folder. Just gonna drag it in here. So by doing that, you actually already save a custom view. As you can see here, leg accommodation, things custom, and similar to the elevation, I think I'm just gonna hide that mesh in the background. So go here, change the range, just bring it around there, go back into sections and disappear. So it's just similar to an elevation. And here you could do some 2D stuff. You could add some text. Let's say this is going to be living, and just go here, type in basement, and or if you wanted, you could add some people. I think there's like a, if you go into the object, type it here. I think let's say man. Yeah, so there's like a silhouettes. Let's get this guy, press OK, just put it here and just drag it so you get a sense of scale. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you in this video, how you can make some clean floor plans, elevations and sections. Go through here and here as well. Wait, I'm just gonna add a little guy just to give some scale. Cool. So in the next video, I think I'm going to talk to you about how you can put all those drawings into like in the layout book. So maybe if you want to print out and stuff like that. And after that, we're going to keep on doing the modeling. Thank you.